What's up everyone, welcome to another personal finance series video. In this video we are going to go flashback. We're going to talk about my early immigration days and the things I faced with regards to finances, and we're also going to talk about one of the major problems which all the immigrants, regardless of student or a professional who come to United States for the first time, they face with respect to credit card, credit score, credit history. What is all of that? That's what we're going to talk about. So let's get started. This video is definitely going to have a lot of information, so I'm going to put all the things we're going to talk about right here with the timestamp, so you can skip to any part of the video you would like to, but I highly recommend you to watch every single thing so you understand and educate yourself. A lot of you already know my story, but for those of you who don't know or who are new, I came to United States in 2014 to pursue my master's. Came to California State University at Chico, small town, and also I'm from a lower middle class family, so if you are one of those people, you know how much we concern and focus on money, and we want to make sure everything is planned, because we don't have like an extra resources where we can just call our father or parents and we're like, hey, send me some money and we'll get it. You have to pre-plan every single thing before you leave. Same thing with me. I planned everything, but as soon as I landed, there were a few things which I did not account for, and I knew it was going to be there, but there are some expenses which you might not even think of it. For example, when you come here, you will move into a brand new apartment because you have to live somewhere unless you are living it on campus. Most likely you will be off campus and you will have your own apartment. You will be sharing it with your neighbor, roommates and things like that. And when you have your own apartment, you want to have furniture, you want to have a desk where you can nicely work, you also want to have a chair, you want to have mattresses, a bed and things like that, shampoo, all some things which you will need for your day-to-day life. And sometimes when all this furniture, desk and mattresses can cost you a lot of things, the initial amount can be a lot. Also, when you get an apartment, you have to put down a deposit, so that's going to be a big amount as well. So there could be expenses which you might not be thinking about, and those expenses can add up a lot of money. Typically, if you ask me right now, what would I do? I wouldn't be even worried about it, because I have a credit card and I would just swipe my credit card and get all the things done. And since I have a credit card, I can pay my money which I use through credit card later on, so I don't have to worry about it. And that's a normal thing for United States. Like people just use their credit card to have such a major expenses or so buy small things like that. So it's okay to do that, but when you come as a brand new person in United States, you're not going to have credit card, neither you're going to have credit history, neither you're going to have a credit score, so you won't have that. You will have to use your Forex card, which you will probably bring with refilled money in it. And sometimes when you use your Forex card, you know that there might be transaction charges when you want to ask your parents to put some money back in because of some major expenses coming in. There is again transaction charges on it. When you take out the cash from the Forex card, there is a transaction fees for taking out the cash as well. If you want to transfer your money from your Forex card to your US bank account, which you will open it, so that time again you will have to pay fees to transfer all the money from your Forex card. So there could be a lot of fees. So to deal with this, in my opinion, there are multiple ways to do it, but the best one is to have something in United States, like have a credit card which you can use it, or have open up a bank account and have your debit card ready. You're like, okay, that sounds reasonable. How do we go about that? I'll talk about one by one. Let's talk about first the banking system. Everybody is going to need a bank account as soon as you come to United States, because when you start making money, when you get an on-campus job, when you want your parents to transfer the money, you're not going to keep using your Forex card, so you have to have a bank account in United States. So that's the first thing you should be doing as soon as you land. And now let's talk about the documentation you will need to open a bank account in United States. Of course, you're going to need your US address where you're living right now. You have to give your contact details. You will also have to have a driver's license or a passport. Of course, you won't have a driver's license as soon soon as you land. So you will have to give your passport. You definitely will have to give your I-20, because that is something, that's how they know that you are come here to study. So I-20 will be required. Some bank also ask for social security number. Social security number is something which I'll talk about it in a minute. And then also over here you have to have a minimum balance, and it depends again which account you open, student account, checking account, savings account. You have to have some form of minimum payment balance. So you probably have all of your documents in that folder ready. There's one document which you might not have, that is social security number. What is social security number? You can ask me that. And the social security number is something which is very, very important. You cannot share with anybody, like literally anybody. You cannot share that with your roommate or anything. It's like your PAN card number or like an Aadhaar card number, which is very, very unique to you. And pretty much every single loan application, every single job application, a lot of people uses that to identify you, and all your taxes and incomes and everything is tied down to your social security number. And you're like, okay, so how can I get that? You cannot get that easily. You have to have a job to get a social security number. Now you cannot have a job as soon as you land. So what are your options at that point of time? Well, there are some other banks which you can actually go, which might not require you to open a bank account. But again, you have to keep finding it. That's what the bank account is. The second option you can use is your credit card to expense all the early expenses, the first time expenses which you will have as soon as you land in United States. So you are like, okay, how do I apply for credit card, and what is the process to apply for credit card? Well, the thing with the credit card is that credit card also requires you to have a social security number. At least most of them will require you to have a social security number. There might be some which might be okay without having a social security number, but it is pretty important. And the second most important thing to get a credit card is to have a credit history or a credit score. How do I get credit score or a credit history? You might be like, okay, I have credit cards in India and I can just, that means I have built some credit score or credit history. Can I use that? Unfortunately, no, because as soon as you land in United States, it's a brand new country, you are starting it from the scratch. So that is one of the other problem a lot of immigrant face, is that they don't have any credit score, they don't have any credit history. You are like, okay, what is credit score? Credit score is like a score defined by FICO. It ranges from 300 to 850. The higher the credit score, better you are. It generally defines, a credit score defines that how much credit card companies can rely on you, that no matter that you use full credit or the amount they give you as a loan, you will be able to repay it. That's like your reputation, that okay, he has a 800 plus, that means you are like at a very, very good credit score. Companies will throw credit cards at you and they will give you a number of loan because you have a good credit score. And that good credit score comes through building good credit history. Some of the factors which also defines your credit score are like payments. You have to have a good payment history, like for example your telephone bills, insurance bills. Second one is debt burden, like length of credit history, and again the credit history is the history of all this credit transaction. Another one is types of credit and the frequency of credit inquiries, which means every time you apply to a credit card company and an application, inquiry is put in place to check like what is your credit score. Like I mentioned, the credit scores are from 300 to 850. 850 means you are like excellent, like that's like the best score you can ever have. Companies will throw at it. There are some other ranges, like if you are 580 or below, it means it's poor. Then there's like 580 to 669, that's an average. Then 740 to 800 is like very good, and then of course above 800 is like an excellent. And so in my case right now, I have a 790 credit score, which means that it's a really, really good score. That also means that if I went to apply for a car loan, if I went to apply for a home loan, I'll probably get those loans, approved, because I have a very good credit score and a credit history. And of course, that's because I've been living here for 7 years. So far so good. So again, we went through that you could have a major expenses, and to get the major expenses, you need a bank account or a credit card. For bank account, you need all of this. For credit card, you need all of this. And having a good credit score helps you to get a better credit card and a higher credit limit. Okay, so we've talked a lot about credit score, credit card, and we've talked about all the problems it comes with, and there's no option for you. But what is the solution? And we don't talk about just problems on this channel, we also talk about solutions. So we do have a solution for you, and that is where our sponsor of the video comes into the picture, which is Zolve. Zolve, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. What is Zolve? Zolve is a cross-border neobank for the global traveler whose mission is really to help immigration to build credit history on the day you land in United States. That's right, you heard it right. As soon as you land in United States, you will be able to start building credit history and in fact even have a credit card. How does it really work? So Zolve basically gives you a US credit card which you can use it as soon as you land in United States, and also it provides you to have a Zolve US account which you can basically sign up even before you come to United States. While you are in India, you can sign it up right there. You're probably like, but still it's a US credit card, and will I not need a credit score or credit history or SSN, which is social security number? No, none of that is required. You will still be able to get it. When I came across this company, I was really wishing like I could go back in time in 2014 and have this with me, because all of this would have solved the problem. And also a lot of you asked me which Forex card to apply, how do we get credit card, how do we move the money. All those problems can be solved with just Zolve. So some of their amazing features which I want to highlight is there are no application fees for sure. There's no minimum balance requirement. Like I mentioned that if you open a bank account, you might have to have like $300 or a $500 minimum balance. In this case, you don't have to have any minimum balance for your Zolve US account. You don't need a monthly maintenance fees. That is another thing which in United States account, you have to have some maintenance fees, or for even credit cards, you have to have some annual fees. In this case, you don't have any maintenance fees. It is a 5-minute application, which is like super quick. It's really simple. I mean, it's very intuitive and user friendly. So as soon as you will see it, you will know. Of course, it comes with an identity theft protection, and also it's FDIC insured up to $250,000. All right, all of this sounds good, but you're like, okay, how much money do they really give you, or how much credit card limit they give you? Because as soon as you get a credit card, you will get certain amount that you can use as your credit, right? And if you're a beginner in United States, a lot of credit card companies will give you very minimum, like $300 or $500, which I think I remember I had $500 credit card. So in Zolve's case, it's different. They are generous, and they give you minimum of $1,500 for eligible user, with a high credit for students, which worth like $5,000 and $10,000 for working professional, which is so cool. I mean, imagine that you are a student and you have $5,000 credit card as soon as you land, and all your initial expenses can be just spent through credit card. That's amazing. One more thing is that when you use credit card, a lot of credit cards have reward system that you use it, they give you rewards that, hey, if you use a credit card, we'll give you points or we'll give you some cash back or something like that. And Zolve is, I think it's the highest I've ever seen in my life. So Zolve has partnered with a company called Dosh, which is one of the US biggest reward system or reward platforms, and they've got 10,000 plus merchants in United States, so which means they will have a lot of like offers going on for H&M, Adidas, Costco, etc. And you can get almost up to 10% cash back. Just amazing. How do you sign up? A link in the description, first link in the description. They have an amazing offer going on right now, is that you will get $30 reward once you activate your credit card, which is amazing. So if you're coming for spring, or if you're coming recently planning to travel to United States, highly recommend you to get it. One of the best cashbacks rewards I've seen, and also you don't need to worry about having a social security and all of that. Hope you find this video valuable and informational. If you do like it, share it and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep smiling and keep hustling. You gotta hustle every single day.